With the latest Star Wars Episode 9 trailer, I know some of you have been wondering how could Palpatine have survived the return of the Jedi. So what really happened? In the Revenge of the Sith, we can still remember the famous words between Anakin and the Sith Lord. Did you ever hear the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise? I think not. It is not a story the Jedi will tell you. It is a Sith legend. Darth Plagueis was a Dark Lord of the Sith, so powerful and so wise it could use the Force to influence the midichlorians to create life. He had such a knowledge of the dark side that he could even keep the ones he cared about from dying. The dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural. It became so powerful, the only thing he was afraid of was losing its power, which eventually, of course, he did. Unfortunately, he taught his apprentice everything he knew. Then his apprentice killed him in his sleep. It's ironic he could save others from death, but not himself. This lesson and this moment is what became the crossroads of Anakin's destiny, and as we all know, he chose the dark side instead, the opportunity to cheat death. And while we all know that one can live on as a Force ghost at the end of one of the trilogies, we also know that this is a feat that the Sith cannot achieve. In the conversations between Qui-Gon Jinn and Yoda, while he was on his journey to learn of immortality, it was said that eternal life is the ultimate goal of the Sith, yet they can never achieve it. It comes only through the release of self, not the exaltation of self. It comes through compassion, not greed. Love is the answer to the darkness, and all these things is basically contrary to everything that the Sith believes in. And while there are several stories about how Palpatine cloned himself and scattered his consciousness across the system, looking at places beyond the reaches of the star system, I believe he also mastered the ability to manipulate the midichlorians to create life on a larger scale, but never taught it to Anakin or Maul or Dooku. He could not risk repeating another tragedy, the tragedy of Darth Plagueis. This ability, however, also opens door to countless of possibilities. Knowing that the Force is this quant of light and energy flowing around, all that was left of Palpatine after the Death Star could have been a single drop of blood, and he would have survived. In theory, the blood is still alive, and with that energy, it could regrow his flesh and make himself whole again. In The Last Jedi, we saw Leia do a similar thing by reactivating her cells and reanimating her own body and healing herself. If Leia, a non-Jedi Knight, can master these powers, then believe that a true Dark Lord of the Sith can regenerate even from a single finger. Now, I know that is a weird plot and a lot of people were not really interested or excited about that, but that is the only way Palpatine would have survived the death at the return of the Jedi. No one is truly gone. Even if he cannot manifest himself as a Force ghost, he can still pull strings and return. So Snoke is likely an age-old trooper from the first Death Star or from the first Clone Wars that Palpatine is controlling, manipulating, and the Dark Lord of the Sith still lives, just rebuilding himself on a distant location in the galaxy. I hope you guys enjoy this piece. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.